Alrighty, we're waiting for Kurt to show up. Today's going to be a cool day. It's the Import Alliance Day at the Lane Motor Museum. If you haven't seen or checked out the Lane Motor Museum, you need to do so. We'll put a link in the description. It has the craziest, iconic, innovative, historical cars. Probably the weirdest and coolest collection anywhere, really. One of the most unusual collections in the United States. And we're going to bring the Acura NSX down there. Kurt's on his way to meet me here at the library, and brought the GT because we only have one Japanese car. It's okay. Thanks for joining us, Full Tank Garage. Going for an impromptu photo shot with the Christmas tree. That'll work. Yeah. Cool. Good morning and welcome to the Full Octane Garage. Kurt, James. Today we're at the Lane Motor Museum and it's the Import Alliance Day. Weather looks really good. Very sunny outside. We did bring the JDM version and we brought an English car. Well, it's still import, right?
It is.
All right, but if you've never been to Lane Motor Museum, you should check it out. Jump online. We'll put a link down below. I think he's actually got a YouTube channel also.
Yep. And you can even get a season pass to this place.
Right, if you're local. Well, you can get one if you're not local.
That's true.
But this is the most eclectic, unusual, archaic collection of historical and current cars anywhere on the planet. It really is.
Micro cars, European cars. I mean, it's got a little bit of everything for everybody.
So let's check it out. All right, the car show starts before you get in the car show. Check out this R33 Skyline. That's clean right there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's nice.
In addition to the crazy giant cars and little cars and things of that nature, there's a Tatra. We have several of the guests that are rolling in and they've got their JDM cars. I love a good Focus ST. The thing I like about this place, Kurt, museum parking. So as long as it's not full, and they've got, God, I don't know, 60 spots in there, so you can park inside when you come to the Lane Motor Museum, because that's how you should be treating your car. You give me a little shake. Now she can't watch the video. Now you do have to pay a little fee to get in. That's okay. Ooh, here we go. Oh, that's the anniversary edition Porsche right there, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The 50th anniversary edition. We've seen this at Cars and Coffee, actually. We're going to apologize right now because the audio is going to suck because they have a giant. I'll see if I can get Chris to shut that thing off over there. See how that goes. The interesting thing about this is they drive these cars.
Every one of them is tagged.
All these,
insured, and
yes,
they drive them.
yeah. I mean, they're actually registered to drive, and he drives them on the road. We'll show you some examples of some crazy stuff that they've driven down the road.
And they even have a rally once a year where you can pay to drive one of these cars.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you pick the car?
You can pick out of the selection they have.
Does it depend on how much you pay?
Yeah.
There's a Hyundai Hybrid. A Pfister.
I like
That's a good looking car too. That's really in great shape. These are some of my favorites. I love the colors on these. Look at that. It's like the predecessor to the Audi TT, right? Say what?
I didn't realize he had an M-Type.
An M-Type?
1932 MG M-Type.
Which one did you have?
I had a TC, TF.
But it's a cool little car too. Look how short the wheelbase is on
I
it.
tried to fit in that car. I tried, I can't fit in it.
Even compared to the other one, look how short the wheelbase is on it.
It's boat tail.
It's boat tail. Look at that. Now you got to get it. One airplane.
Yeah, they are.
That's a riot right there, dude. Well, yeah, look how far back the seats go.
Yeah.
It's almost like a reclining position in there. That's awesome. Nissan race car. For you Slam fans. That's nuts. I'm not even going to try to name some of this stuff. Just have to come down there and check it out yourself. Kurt, the question is, does it have all-wheel drive? What does that mean on three wheels? This is the Subaru. It's got 100 miles per gallon. It's all about the aero, right? It's probably pretty old. The tail light is really, you talk about a cool rear end on that. The body cart with all the hammers. Where are you looking? Oh, wow. There's like a, it's like a holster with 100 hammers in the middle of it. And they're hammering out the body on this, wait, it looks Volkswagen-ish.
I think it's Volkswagen-ish. It's got looks like a VW engine sitting over there.
Is that aluminum body?
No, it's steel.
Steel?
Yeah.
Well, that's super cool looking though.
Yeah,
I love it. Nothing like wouldn't you love to have a rotisserie at your house? When you're not cooking chicken, you can do your car. Knew a girl in high school that used to have a TR7. That's the TR8. That's got a 8-cylinder engine in it, doesn't it? Yeah, with a convertible too. That's kind of crazy. Check out the interior. It's got some plaid Porsche. Ooh, wow. Oh boy. Now, where you come here to see the cars, generally speaking, and it's pretty easy to get tunnel vision and just look at cars, but in reality, look along the ceiling here. There's something for everybody. There's a whole section just for bicycles, motorcycles, aircraft, anything that's an iconic historical piece for transportation. All right, introduce yourself.
Martell, nice to meet you guys. Martell J. Cox.
And you're with Import Alliance here in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yes, sir.
And you actually organize the events for Atlanta also during the summer.
Atlanta, yes.
No, it's Atlanta in March
spring.
and spring, right?
You got Lebanon.
Lebanon
is
here.
going to be in summer.
Summer, okay.
So when's the next event coming up?
It's going to be spring, March. End of March.
All right, guys. If you haven't been to Import Alliance,
Atlanta Speedway.
Yeah, check it out.
Speedway.
It's
Yeah,
nuts.
Check us out. It's going to be fun.
All right, if I get to pick one for today, it's the Snowcat. I mean, big wooden skids. Isn't that nuts? And a paddle wheel on the back for a drive. I wonder if that works if you hit a dry spot on the road. It probably sounds horrible. And the fan on the back, too. Oh, that is crazy. You imagine the amount of stuff blowing out the backside of this when they're driving it. Hey Kurt, let's check these bikes out. What's that second one?
Hey, I think this is the new Tesla EV two-wheeler. It has design just like the Tesla truck.
Are we going to see it in a video dragging an F-150? All right, so it's not just cars, right? Bunch of iconic and prototype bikes, all the way back to the wooden wheel one. And now Jeff rides these too. I've seen Jeff on Murfreesboro Road riding some of this stuff. That would be Jeff Lane, the owner manager of Lane Motor Museum. But lots of like race bikes that you might have seen in the Olympics 20 years ago or whatnot. How cool is that? Check that out. Is that a hand crank to start it?
Wow.
Look at the wooden wheel, the wooden propeller on the back.
Crazy. That is gorgeous.
It is pretty.
I'd hang that on my wall.
Yeah. I can see all kinds of accidents like bird strikes and stuff. If it gets past you. I think engines are works of art. That's like the 6-cylinder Jag engine
Oh yeah.
out of a Series 1 or Series 2 E-Type pretty. Right there. You got your brass and polished metal. All right, guys. You Harley fans out there. Here's an early model for you. 1918 Harley Davidson Motor Psych is what they're calling it. Check out that light fixture. And it's got a combustion engine with a side drive. How cool is that? Lots of micro stuff. Is that an Isetta? It is. It's a crazy paint scheme on it. That's awesome, Kurt. Huh? That's really cool. Probably seen one of these on Jay Leno or Jerry Seinfeld's show. The Amphicar. Haven't seen a red one. They're usually green. That's pretty cool. Check out these stands. They're all the way through here. Made of motor parts. Love that. Is this boat radio controlled? Controlled by this guy? It's like a lawnmower. All right, that's fun. It's like fire engine red. Or guards red, proportionally.
France, this fire chief, he'd answered a call up on a mountain, and the road was blocked, but it was a narrow one-lane road. He had no way to turn around, so he had to actually back all the way down the mountain.
This is a two-sided car.
Yes. So he had a two-headed 2CV built, so that he got to, that happened again, and it did happen again. Where the road was blocked, he could just stick a pin and shut the engine off, put it in neutral, stick a pin through the steering column on this end, get in this end, and of course put the light covers, move the light covers, and then pull the pin on that column, fire up that engine, and drive off.
You know what this is? It's a spare car. Does it run off two engines?
It can run off either one.
Oh, so if one breaks down,
Yeah.
you just get on the other side.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're going in that direction.
Yeah, hopefully it's not a flat tire.
I'm telling.
No, we're allowed to touch this one.
I just watched a video with Chris Harris. Chris Harris bought one of these recently. He's the big drifter guy. I mean, he's
really?
he skids and stuff, but he's always wanted one, so he bought one. And I say just, it's on it's on the Drive channel, but
They lean so much going around corners. Chris,
there's a video of him coming through, and the one wheel actually kind of lifts up.
Yeah.
This looks like something that Chris Runge might have put together, doesn't it?
that is the Nicholson Chapter.
Oh, it was a Copper State car too.
Yeah, we took that car to the Tupelo Museum auction.
What's special about this one, Kurt?
Look at the seat.
It's got to be like a mid-'80s car, right? No.
It's got a mother-in-law spot.
Oh, that would suck. I don't think anybody likes their mother-in-law that much.
Actually, this is a French sports car. So this is when you go on like a weekend vacation, you can take your wife and your mistress.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Perfect.
But that sounds like a happy trip.
That's kind of like, what was that exotic car that had the center seat with the seat on the other side? McLaren, yeah.
F1?
Yeah.
Yep. One of my personal favorites. I just love the rear end on these cars. Renault 5 Turbo 2, like a mid-'80s car. I just think it's cool how they push out these rear ends. I see it's still got the training wheels on it.
That's it, yeah. They go up once it gets going.
Are you serious? I was making a smart-ass remark. Oh.
Yeah, they do have these side wheels in these cars.
God, can you imagine driving this when the wheels are up? You better not slow down until they... It'd be nice if they were speed activated.
There's a video of Mikey driving it. The front is
narrow band within the gimbal axis, about 60 degrees tall.
doing about 20, 30 miles an hour.
Wow, it looks crazy inside.
You see him, it starts doing the shake.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Look at that.
around back, all they did was just cut around. They did enough to do a circle.
It has a snow cone maker in it. Now we were joined by Chris Nicholson with the Lane Motor Museum to give us a exclusive tour of the downstairs basement.
Yes. We're going down into the basement. This is something that they open up only a couple times a year. And it's where they keep all the collection of cars that are not on display. And so it's a rare opportunity to come down here. Oh, sorry, you can't come in.
The Harris wins the award for the least attractive car in this building right now. 928. Very nice. Just look to the right and left as we walk along here. Just Jupiter. Huh? A race car. This is cool. It looks like a SVRA car. Outstanding. Everyone say hi to Chris with the Lane Motor Museum. All right, guys, let me introduce you to a good friend of mine. We've known each other for quite a while. Chris Nicholson with the Lane Motor Museum. He's our go-to down here. So, Chris, how did this all start?
Well, it got started as a personal collection that got out of hand. And so it became a museum that has since gotten out of hand. Our founder and director, Jeff Lane, had a personal collection of cars that kept growing and growing, and he had them stuffed in various places around Nashville and Middle Tennessee. Storage units, basements of businesses he owned, basements of homes he rented out, just all over the place. He finally got them organized, realized he had about 75 cars, and decided to start a museum. And that became the Lane Motor Museum that you see today. And the process got started with setting up all the paperwork and everything. We are a private nonprofit foundation, and this building was purchased in 2002 from American Bread Company. It was formerly the Sunbeam Bread Factory. And at the time we thought it was way too big for our needs. It's about 144,000 square feet, I believe, when we got it. We've expanded it since then.
It's a beautiful building, too. The wood floors upstairs. I mean, just
really sets it off. It's worked out so well for us. It really is just a match. But yeah, when we first got it, I thought, it's way too big. We'll never use all of it. And spent about a year refurbishing the building. He had it repurposed for the museum, and did a bit more collecting so we could open with a bit more than 75 cars. I think when we opened we had 100 cars. 16 years later, we have over 550 cars, 80-something motorcycles, at least 24 airplanes. I don't even know where they all are.
Maybe 100 bicycles.
I have no idea how many.
Couple dozen
bicycles we
canoes.
have. The bicycles are just stuffed everywhere. Yeah, we've got canoes, we've got kayaks, pretty much any kind of transportation idea you can come up with. We have an example of it here.
Now, Jeff started this as it was a personal collection, and I guess he had some unique taste for some iconic cars. Did at some point after they established the Lane Motor Museum, did they decide to make this a historical venture to preserve these cars for future generations to see? This is a nonprofit.
This is a nonprofit,
Right.
yes. And so it's actually the foundation that owns the collection. Folks will come in and ask if it's one man that owns all the collection, or if it's a bunch of different collectors that bring their cars in on loan. And it's actually the foundation owns the collection, the building, the property, and everything. We all just work for the foundation.
So Lane Motor Museum, unique cars from A to Z.
Yes. People ask about what our goal is or what our theme is, and it's kind of difficult to explain because the collection's so varied. But one good way that David Yondo, the manager, has put it is that cars really just do the same thing. They take people and their stuff from one point to another. But everybody has a different idea how to do that. And what the museum's collection represents is a lot of different people's aha moments where they think, oh, I've got this idea. And it's only been recently that when we build a car, we can actually test out the car or the components in the computer. Prior to that, you actually had to build the car and drive it to test it to see if your idea worked. And so that's what we have. We have a lot of ideas that are still in use in cars today. We've got the Citroen Traction Avant here, that it's front-wheel drive DNA is in every front-wheel drive car now. And then we have cars like, I'll say the Hoffman, that's packed with bad ideas. But the guy didn't realize how bad they were until he built the car and tried to drive it. And we have everything in between.
Now, how many of these cars get driven?
We try to drive everything in the collection at least once a year. There are staff favorites that get driven more than that. And you can probably guess which cars those are.
You brought up an important point. These cars all get driven. They're all tagged.
Right.
I mean, they're all tagged. And that's what's fortunate for us in Nashville is we get to see them on the road. Because I'll see Jeff roll around a bicycler once in a while that I've never seen before up on Murfreesboro Road. And then you bring cars to the local Cars and Coffee and other car events that we've got. But there's nothing like seeing, what's the Dimaxion?
The
Dimaxion. I'll drop a picture in on that. But we've seen that drive down the road. That drove from here to downtown Nashville for a show that we were
a lot further than that.
Yeah, in fact, when we first got it, Jeff drove it from here to the Amelia Island Concourse.
I hated driving to Amelia.
With a few people in it.
Right.
I took a Denali with a trailer and a car in it. It was horrible.
Yeah, and I've driven the Dimaxion just here on the museum grounds to move it around for photos and whatnot. I wouldn't drive it to Amelia Island. I wouldn't drive it downtown.
There you go.
Now, how many people does it take to keep this museum going?
Well, let's see. I think we have about a dozen employees currently, maybe a little bit more than that because we've expanded in the restoration shop. We've recently added a curator.
Because you do fab work, you do mechanical work, you do complete restorations for the cars that are in this collection.
Here.
And you have to maintaining this would be a full-time job for several people.
And there's also volunteer opportunities here.
Right. Now, volunteers don't actually get to work on the cars. Jeff prefers that they be employees and be on the museum insurance.
Right.
But we do have a volunteer program and an intern program where folks can come in and help out with events, help out on weekends, keep the cars clean, assist guests, answer questions, and all sorts of stuff like that.
And then after some point in time of putting your time in volunteering, you get to drive a car occasionally?
As a matter of fact, yes, we have a volunteer appreciation day every year where we pick out a bunch of cars and the volunteers take turns driving them. And they can also take them out to local Cars and Coffee events and cruise-ins and whatnot.
So if you have some spare time on your hands and you have a passion for cars.
And a clean driver's license?
And a clean driving record. This is the place to come volunteer. It is awesome. Ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
So we're going to have to let Chris go. He's got a basement tour coming up. You know, James was allowed to come down here just for a little bit, and we got to kick him out and get it ready for the rest of the tour and the rest of the exciting day with the Import Alliance. So thanks for being with us.
Well, that will conclude the Import Alliance meet at the Lane Motor Museum. Not really a lot of people here yet, but there's still plenty of time, and we're heading out a little early. We'll see if there's something interesting in the parking lot. But yeah, thanks for joining us at the Full Octane Garage. If you like our videos,
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Well, wait, go ahead right now. Okay.
check us out on Facebook and Instagram, and we'll see you soon at the Full Octane Garage. Kurt, now we're done with the video. It's time to go get lunch. What's our main priority here?
Food.
Clearance on those cars.
Oh, that's right.
I'm not sure we're really get to pick and choose where we get to go. Are you approaching the age limit for the NSX?